Okay, so I thought today I might just cover the basics and some advanced tips on how to snipe properly, and of course how to rack up some kills. First of all, as I said in my previous video, you're gonna want to get a good sensitivity for you. If you want some tips on sensitivity, please visit my previous video, I'll leave a link in the description. Second of all, make sure to scope in and you're standing completely still unless you absolutely cannot for a certain shot. But stop moving and zoom in if you have the chance. There are two sniper rifles in the game, and by sniper rifles I'm saying they all have that sniper scope on them, which are the AWP and the SSG Scout, or more commonly referred to as the Scout. The AWP is the gun we're going to start with today. It will one-shot anyone with any amount of armor from the waist up, whereas a below waistline shot will heavily damage them for 85 damage. It also has an extremely slow rate of fire, being a bolt action rifle. A helpful tip is to double tap Q right after firing. It shortens the bolt pulling animation. The AWP is also the third most accurate gun in the game, and is especially accurate when standing still or crouched. The AWP is also extremely expensive at $4,750, rewards a very little $100 for a kill, and is heavy on your character as it makes you walk extremely slow, which can be negated by running with your knife or pistol out. It also has the potential to wallbang, which means to shoot through selected surfaces, usually thin objects or walls, for around 60 damage, or scoring a headshot for that beautiful insta-kill. Next, I'm going to talk about the SSG Scout. The Scout is a cheaper and more mobile version of the AWP, but also does less damage and has no potential to one-hit kill, unless of course you can pull off that beautiful headshot. The Scout is also a bolt action rifle and is great for early round long range engagements. It is a cheap $1,700 and rewards $300 for each kill. That's $200 more than the AWP. The Scout also has a little higher of a rate of fire than the AWP, which for some people can make it more of a viable option, but in the end it all comes down to personal preference. Also with the Scout you can run faster than with the AWP scoped and unscoped, which can be extremely valuable, but still it is probably best to be running with your knife or pistol out if you know the area is clear. Now I'm going to give you some tips on just sniping in general. Tip number 1 is when you've been spotted or you've just killed someone, a good idea is to relocate, as the person you've just killed or been spotted by has most likely just told his teammates exactly where you are and will be able to pinpoint you. You can also use that to your advantage and sit where you can see your previous spot and snipe the person who comes to find you. And also remember that sniper rifles are very, very loud weapons, and even if he didn't call you out to his teammates, they've probably already heard your shot and will be heading straight for you. Tip number 2 is that sniping is highly aim based and reflex based, so you'll be wanting to practice your aim and reflexes whenever possible, and to be warmed up before you go into a competitive game. Trust me, this can seriously help you and benefit you massively. Great maps can be found on the Steam Workshop for training in general, but I found that reflex aiming and bot practice maps are the best for me personally. I'll leave the link to the ones I use in the description. Tip number 3 is to remember that you are a sniper. A support role. Nobody expects you to be the first person rushing a bomb site, and I suggest you don't do so, as you'll usually be the first to die. Your job as a support role is to sit back and try to pick off any enemies that might give your team a hard time from any flanks, and to remember that anticipation is an extremely important attribute for sniping. Act like there is an enemy around every single corner, so make sure to check all corners, hiding places, or anywhere your team has called an enemy out. Tip number 4 is to pick a good sniping spot. You don't want to be out in the open where you're susceptible to flanking fire or to be shot in the back. Learning these spots takes time, and eventually it will just become second nature for you to run to your favorite spot. But remember to be always moving between these spots. Also try to think outside the box when it comes to positions, as lots of players know the very common places and it will be the first place they look when turning a corner. Tip number 5 is very simple and it comes with time, and that tip is to know your weapons. Learn the price and the rewarded money when you kill someone. The bullet penetration, the amount of bullets your guns can carry, what damage it does to what parts of the body, etc. This tip applies to all weapons and can help you to even combat some enemies with the weapons you're learning about. Tip number 6 is a pretty simple one, and it is to not use decoy grenades as a sniper, because decoy grenades use your primary weapon for the firing noise they make. which may give away that you're camping a spot, camping a corner, or may even give away a position to the enemy, making your sniper career extremely short. Tip number 7 is that smoke grenades can be extremely useful for you as a sniper. Smoke grenades can be your saving grace or your downfall, as they can block sight to choke points, or they can blind your enemies for a short time after they leave the smoke cloud, which gives you a massive advantage, and can also force the enemy team into a choke point being cordoned off by your smoke grenades. Tip number 8 is very simple and yet is extremely important, and that is to be patient. I can't stress this enough, and how many times I've seen a sniper camping a corner, and because they got impatient, decided to go watch another spot, and they got shot in the back from the exact same corner they were just watching. Or seeing a sniper rush in after they miss a shot. As a sniper, your best weapon is distance and stealth. Be patient, as others most likely won't be, as this also ties in with tip number 3. Tip number 9 is an all-round general tip, and that is to not peek corners you know are being camped. Find another way around, as he almost certainly will be aimed directly down scope at that corner, and given that he has a massive advantage over you, he will most likely click once in the time it takes you to move around the corner, scope in, and take that shot. Tip number 10 finally is a very easy one, and that is to use corners to your advantage. In a good spot you will have half your body behind the wall, making it so you can just see the corner you're AWPing, as this will make the target smaller for your enemy and make it easier for you to hit him without getting hit yourself. If you practice and follow these tips, I guarantee that you will become a better sniper in no time. If you have any questions for me or the community, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and I'm sure I or another person will answer them. Thanks for watching, and have a good one, guys.